Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here with us on Fox Weather. Right now, it's 3 o'clock on the East Coast, noon out west. I'm Ian Oliver, and this is Fox Weather Now. This is what we've been telling you all week. That big dip in the jet stream, man, has that been impactful so far this week? All that rain, some severe weather, rare severe weather in Southern California, snow into the Rockies, a very isolated, strong and very isolated severe storms, but it's tomorrow into the start of the weekend, middle Mississippi Valley, the Ozarks, down across the Arklatex, that we've been concerned for the severe weather potential. The heavy rain, the severe thunderstorms, those are in the forecast. So we will get you set with everything you need to know moving into the weekend. But we want to start with some of the interesting weather that's happening down in the tropics. Fox Weather is your Hurricane HQ. Until November the 30th, it's hurricane season because funky things can happen, and this could be one of those instances. So let's bring in Fox Weather hurricane specialist Bryan Norcross. Bryan, we first talked about this as a wave emerging off the west coast of Africa. I think that was back on Tuesday. I put in my notes here, interesting that the wave existed, interesting how far south it was, nothing so far in the Caribbean. And I'm very curious to get your thoughts moving through next week, because it feels like we could get into a scenario where there are no steering currents and we've got something wobbling around in the Caribbean.
Yeah, and it could be past next week. It could be the rest of the month that we're talking about this. There are a number of scenarios, and the interesting thing about this disturbance here, this tropical wave, is that it's so far south that it's not dealing with the issues farther north, which are getting to be sort of wintertime type issues across the Atlantic. And that's going to come into play here as we get later on. But because it's so far south, the idea is that as it moves toward the Caribbean, it's in kind of hostile conditions here. Hurricane Center says not developing there. But once it gets in the Caribbean, they have a 30% chance over the next 7 days. But like I said, this system may well be around well after 7 days. If it does that stalling in the Caribbean, that is a possibility. Let's look at it close up here as the sun is just beginning to go down in the eastern Atlantic. And there you can see what makes it a wave. You can see the kink there in the wind flow. That's why sometimes you hear these things called a wave. It is just a kind of disturbance. And it's got some effort at rotation there on the northern side. It's quite often that northern side where the winds have that biggest kink in them that becomes the center. It's not always the case. If some kind of hostile upper level winds are blowing at the top, it can develop other places, but we'll watch that, especially with the system that far south. All right, let's look at it on the European forecast model here. There's your wave there. Here's the area that we're going to watch, and here's the time up here. That's today. So let's go forward in time. We're going to go all the way through the weekend to Sunday here, and that's about the time that it's moving over the Caribbean islands, mostly the windward islands, looks like, and can be quite gusty if this comes into fruition the way the models indicate. Gusty and rainy, not expecting any kind of a tropical system to develop, but still, this is a healthy kink in the wind flow. There you see it right there. Notice there's dry air around it, so it is going to be fighting with that and some hostile upper level winds that I mentioned, and that's why it's not forecast to develop by the time it gets to the Caribbean. All right, now take a look up here. Here we are Sunday, and this is Sunday afternoon nominally, but let's say Sunday into Monday is the time that it's in the vicinity of the Caribbean islands. Now let's go forward all the way through next week to the following Monday. So 8 days. Now watch here. We go forward, see it slows down, slow, starts to develop a circulation sometime around the end of the week, and ends up parked over here in the Western Caribbean. And it shows it has a circulation on the European model. And now we have no steering currents, and it's sitting there and drifting around. So If it does that, then kind of all bets are off for the following week, because where is it going to drift? When systems start drifting, forecasts become super unreliable. So that's one possibility. But when we look at that, remember that was a European model, the GFS, and the Google AI model from Google DeepMind, we see two significant possibilities. One is, like I showed you, it comes over here and then it sits around in here somewhere. The other is it comes up here and it kind of stalls in here a bit and it takes on off that way. In that case, obviously, the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Puerto Rico, surrounding islands would all have to stay on alert for that possibility. It's not going to pounce or anything, but it could make that hard right, and I'll talk more about that here in just a second and why that might be the case. That's very much might be the case. But in any case, it's a curious thing. And then we have the Google DeepMind possibilities here. We don't have the other models to show you because this thing hasn't even become an invest yet. But with the Google DeepMind shows you that we have the high possibility of it coming this way. And then what happens in here? It kind of stalls and it sits there for a while. And then if we go up here, the way this works and the way you figure out, okay, what are the odds of that happening, is you count the lines. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you count these down here, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe, something like that. And then you just double that number. So if you end up with 9, you double it, you get 18% chance of that happening. So that's not a big percent, obviously. That's just the Google forecast. Turns out some of the GFS and some of the European go up that way too. So you probably have a 20%-ish chance that that's going to happen. And then you have this stalling chance, and then you have the possibility over here. It's in the similar range. It's in this 20 to 30% chance of all of these. And you only have about a 50% chance that this is all going to happen anyway. So it's just, this is a wait and see kind of thing, because if it gets over in here and stalls, then we don't know exactly where it's going to go. The following, I'm not talking about next week. I'm not talking about the week after. I'm talking about the week after that in November. If it's still down there, then we can't rule out it coming up in here somewhere. So again, small odds of anything like that happen. Also could continue on over to the Pacific. The Canadian model kind of indicates that. So for now, this is a wait and see thing, but it does look like the odds are pretty decent that we're going to have a system in the Caribbean. All right, now what's going to be driving this thing? Here's how we can look at that. Here is the spin related to the disturbance at this point, and then we have these dips in the jet stream. Now, Ian's going to talk a lot about this. These dips and the storms that they cause, these are the things that cause fronts to move across the country, that cause low pressure systems to form. They also can grab tropical systems and pull them north. Well, if the system is weak, they're not grabbing. It takes a stronger system to get grabbed. So this one is not going to be dealing with a strong enough system, and it's just going to move on by. So again, here we are today. Now we're going to go forward in time here and watch what happens. Let's go to Sunday. And you see there's the system there. And notice that this dip is way north, so that's not going to get it. Again, it needs a pretty strong system to grab it. This one is a little bit farther south here. We're going to keep an eye on that one. And notice in the middle here we have kind of a hump. That's high pressure, so that's kind of holding it south for that temporary time. All right, now let's go forward in time. Let's go on up to, say, Wednesday. Now the system is in here, and look at what we have here. We have this dip coming down. And so if this thing strengthens in this area here, then it can get picked up and go up that way, and we have this potential impact that we talked about, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, surrounding islands, and so forth. By the way, in Jamaica, you need to watch this as well. So that's in that Wednesday time period. But then if it is not sufficiently strong and it continues to the west, well, then we get this is kind of dawdling out here, and then kind of all bets are off because we have a general kind of smooth, straight flow to the north. Going to have to wait for something else to come along, or this kind of flow like this, you can kind of make out a high pressure there, keeps pushing it, maybe pushes it inland, pushes it to Pacific. It's just we're getting too far into the future to really have any good idea. So this is a wait and see kind of thing. All right, up in the North Atlantic, we have this thing for just amusement. This is a big upper level low, and there is a surface reflection to that, and this is what's driven the cold fronts all the way through Florida. It's kind of whipping them through on the backside. Well, Hurricane Center is watching this with only a 10% chance because it is going to get on the little end of the Gulf Stream here in the next couple of days. And that'll be its opportunity to maybe become subtropical storm Melissa. Slight chance. That's about it. Would only add to the books. It wouldn't really mean anything. But it's one of those interesting North Atlantic things that we have this time of year. Ian?
Brian, I liked how you had put that. Whether you're a person or a tropical wave, if you don't want to deal with winter conditions, you go south. So that's how this one's avoiding the hostile stuff farther off to the north. But boy, does this feel like it's going to be a hurry up and wait. The latest weird thing in what's been a weird season. But we'll be watching it. We know you'll keep us updated. That's our hurricane specialist, Bryan Norcross. Thank you.